Hey there, I'm Brent Vanderswag. I'm the president of GutterExperts.com and founder of GutterCon, which is being held in just 34 days from now in Denver, Colorado. Leading up to GutterCon, I'll be doing a series of uh, interviews where I'll be chatting with a variety of people in the gutter world, speakers who are presenting at GutterCon, suppliers, and regular gutter guys just like you and me. We'll be talking about their business and how they play a role in today's gutter industry. So I'd like to introduce my guest for today, Christiaan Deasy. Christian's the founder of the Facebook group many of you know, Gutter Company Owners, which has 775 members. He's been at that for about a year. He's also the owner of Christian's Gutters in Michigan, and he's been in the gutter business for over 9 years now. How you doing today, Christiaan?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, glad to have you here. It's been a few weeks trying to get you on here.
Yeah.
So how's things?
Hopefully it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope everyone will think that too. So let's just start off about where you are. We just had a little bit of a chat before our interview. You're in Michigan. You've got a couple locations. Is that right?
That is right. I started the business in Mason, just south of Lansing. Then we got busy in the Detroit area. So our main office now is in Warren, just north of Detroit. And we still love serving customers in both areas. So
Okay.
we have a pretty wide range.
Okay. So I think you said you actually started your business in 2013. So, before you actually started your business, what were you doing? Like when you got did you go to school, university or anything?
Yeah, I tried. I went to Western.
Yeah.
I did good at first. Had a little too much fun. I couldn't keep up when the classes got smaller. So I started roofing. Then I tried selling vacuums for one day.
One day, that's it. My grandfather was a vacuum salesman back in the day, and he did very well at it. So
yeah, I do better selling gutters.
Yeah.
But so then I got my first gutter job. I learned from David Hopper, who's in the owner group, back in 2008. Ended up running a truck after about a year.
How old were you
then?
And
then, pardon?
How old were you then?
25, 26. I think I'm 38 now. So I was like 27, 28, 28 when I started the business.
Yeah.
In 2013 after, running a truck for another company for.
You mentioned David Hopper, you say?
Correct.
So he's in your group. He was your original employer?
He was a crew leader at the original employer.
Oh, okay.
And he taught me a lot, and we still work together a lot today. We talk about the business. We sub work back and forth.
Roofing business, is he?
No, he's a gutter guy out of Romulus. And he specializes in 6 and 7 inch.
Okay.
Don't ask him to do 5 inch.
No, a lot of guys are thinking about not doing 5 inch anymore.
Yeah, we don't like to that much. No. I tell customers, it's a 5 inch gutter is kind of like a 3-tab shingle or a single pane window nowadays.
Yeah. So he does 6 and 7 inch K style.
Yeah.
What do you focus on?
It's a lot of 6 inch.
Yeah.
And we also, we're an authorized dealer for Jellyfish Lighting, which is a permanent lighting. So you can do any holiday accent lighting or can lighting with it.
Is that really cool. The lighting that goes under the soffit, or is that like from? Okay.
Yeah, it goes right under the soffit. It goes in a track that matches your trim.
Yeah.
So you really don't see it.
Yeah.
It's pretty discreet until you turn them on.
Is that something you've been doing a while, or is that a new thing for you?
No, we just rolled that out in 2022. I'd been watching the Christmas light groups, Donovan, and all of them for a long time, and I've always been interested in it. We have the ladders, we know how to get up there, but it's like the season for that.
That's terrible because you're so busy usually then.
Correct. So I felt like this, the permanent lighting took a little bit of, it took that seasonal pressure off. So it was the right thing for us. I'm excited. So,
So,
um,
you know, honestly, I looked at it too. A different brand name. I'm up here in
mhm,
Canada, but I did look at a something a couple, probably 3, even 4 years ago when it was starting to get very popular. And I looked at it, and you know, I guess the question I want to ask you is, like, I was looking at doing it just to do something different, but then I thought, you know, we're so darn busy doing gutters. Like, why are we trying
mhm,
to do something else? So I'm
yeah.
curious to ask you, you know, why did you take that on? Like, were you not
Mhm,
busy, or were you just trying to do something different than all the other gutter guys in your area?
sure. I mean, like I said, I've been interested in it for a long time. I think what really, you know, uh, put this over the edge for me, I think, the old school Christmas lights, it's pretty simple, clipping
Hmm.
them on, taking them off, and it's more like gutter cleaning. Uh, we like installations, right? More than cleanings. We do it all, but
Yeah.
obviously most of us seamless gutter company owners prefer an installation, right? So,
Yeah.
this is an installation more to me than the old way of Christmas lights. And I also, we're really trying to reach like our ideal customers, the best customers we can find. And
Yeah.
and so this is a premium product. It's you're gonna get in nice neighborhoods doing it. And then once a couple houses do it, you'll end up going down the block with it. Um and that, the old Christmas lights, they're not cheap either to have them put up and take down. And so, I think those customers who are spending 2,500 to 7,500 on seasonal Christmas lights,
I know.
they'll like the all year long, Fourth of
Well, you
July,
can
anything you want.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You can do
Mhm.
your holidays. You can do St.
Yeah,
Patty's Day. You can do
right.
Valentine's Day. You can do 4th of July. You can do
Hmm.
uh,
Could
what's
do
in
blue and
October?
yellow. You could do
Uh,
blue and yellow for Ukraine.
Halloween. Yeah, exactly. You do anything really,
Yeah.
any color. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
um, I never really expected that we were going to be talking about this, but are you like, are your gutter crews doing this, or do you have a dedicated crew doing this?
Uh, it's gonna be the same. I mean, maybe eventually it's a dedicated crew. Whoever likes it best, whoever's best at it. At first, it's just gonna be the best of us together. Getting our feet wet with it.
Mhm.
We're just starting to sell them.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them on my house soon for
Yeah.
some practice. Make sure we know what we're doing on the
Okay. So you're
first.
not really in it yet. You're just
Yeah, I
you
mean,
did.
we haven't even started marketing it hard. So,
Okay.
but we're about to. So, you
Cool.
know,
Well, just getting back to the gutter business. So you started in 2013, and what
mhm.
made you go out on your own? Like, where were you working before that? Were you working for a gutter company?
Yeah, it was Gutter Great, which is like a sister company of Hanson's, which is a big exterior remodeling sales company. And I think they've, expanded around the country. I know they're in Colorado. Um, so, it was a great place to learn. And Rod Norris hired me for that job. He's in the group too.
Okay. Yeah.
He taught Dave Gutters. So it's a lineage there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought I could do it, and I learned a lot, and I wanted to try to do better for myself. I had a kid. My son's 11 now. He was 1 or 2 when I started the business. And Dave had gone back out on his own right around when I told him I was thinking about doing it. I found out he had just done it, so that was kind of it's nice to have support and a mentor to bounce things back and forth with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been has its ups and downs, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I
No,
know. I
no
say that
regrets.
too.
Yeah.
Like I just turned 50 this past year, and
Oh,
like I never made tons of money. I've always made a living.
yeah.
I've had lots of downs. I've had some
Mhm.
ups. I mentioned to
You
you.
don't, and you don't look a day over 60.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. But, I think it's not just even the gutter business. I think any business, like, one thing I have been doing the last few years is talking to other business owners. And this is one of the things I love about, chatting with another gutter guy, like, I'm not really sure how big your business is, but I think you probably run a bigger business than what I do. And I think smaller gutter guys always think, oh, we got to get to that $1 million. Life is just going to be so much easier. I'm not sure if it does get easier, if it just gets less harder. Like, I don't know. What's the answer?
Yeah. Well, I got to the million really fast in my first 3 years. It was astronomical,
Yeah.
and it was really too fast. And
Why do you, what do you attribute that to? Like, growing so quickly? Because that is growing pretty quickly. Were you
yeah,
focused
it
on,
was
on
it was too
contractor work?
quickly. I was an animal. I was relentless, and I was just determined not to fail. So I was just nonstop. Um, but I didn't know anything about running a business, and I didn't even know that, and I didn't
Most
know
guys
how
don't.
much I had to learn. Um, so I was just getting by on like raw ambition, talent, and effort. Um, but I've especially the last couple of years, I've uh, learned how much I still have to learn about being a leader and a business owner, and I've been trying to do that, and just trying to make things better and easier for me and the whole team. So grew way too fast. Any problem you can think of. And back then we didn't have these groups. Some of these younger guys are killing it. And
Yeah.
I think they've been really smart to avoid some of the big mistakes that we made figuring it out without any,
Yep.
you
I
know, these relationships we all have now, which are awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you say
so
was your biggest mistake?
yeah,
Just pick one.
probably very quickly, I didn't have any systems, checks and balances, and we grew to 2 locations, and I was spread thin between both places, and I didn't really have the right management support next to me. So I didn't know who was where doing what, and there was stuff walking away and just all kinds of
I
you
hear
know
you.
um so yeah, I mean, I kind of flew too close to the sun there, and then we shrunk a little bit and kind of regrouped. So now we're growing again. um you know Now we almost hit 1 million last year, and I think we might easily hit 2 million this year. We're we got some great people learning and
You were
growing, and
saying
so
you were saying before we got on the call here that compared to a few weeks ago, like you're really feeling good about where you are today, huh?
yeah, everybody's come together. It's a couple weeks ago, I didn't realize that we were struggling to sell. We were getting slow. We didn't have a lot of work on the board. um
So for you, just let me ask you this question. For you, what's slow? Like, how far out do you like to be? How many weeks out do you like to be?
it's honestly like a month, and that's kind of how we've kept it for a good year or two now. One thing I think I did well was staying in front of price increases, and also like managing our schedule and capacity, because we only had so many people and
I
we could
know.
only do so much. So I learned the value of raising your prices. So we never got 6 months booked out. If I was selling things too easily, I raised the
Raise your
price.
price. Yeah.
Yes. So a month is nice because you have the time to plan for the materials, get it together. We're not a month out right now. We're like probably a couple weeks. That's fine too, though.
Yeah.
And that, I think Colin DeHaan, in the past, he told me that's what he likes to be, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We like to leave some room though. We leave room. Yeah, that, I was talking about raising prices, and the other day, I think you might have seen in the owner group, I think a lot of people were talking about pricing,
Yep.
which is a big topic these days with gas and aluminum and
Yep.
everything. And so in my last
Oh, I think are you still there? Kind of lost can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I see you looking at your computer, but I don't know if you can hear me. I don't think you can. Oh, I think
okay, I'm back.
okay, you're
I'm
back.
sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
Sorry about that. So I learned about 50% gross profit, and it's really simple. It's materials plus labor
Mhm.
times 2
Yep.
equals your minimum price, and then you don't have to count the rest of the beans. There's plenty there to
Yeah.
cover all of it,
I
and
think that's it.
control those other costs as much as you can.
I think that's a
But
really good formula. That is one thing that I've kind of struggled with. I've always, so many people look at, the final revenue number, but it's really not about that. You really have to look at, your labor and your materials. Those are the two things that it's going to be. I mean, you can control some other things, but I think that 50% rule, in fact, I'm running about 56% the last couple of years, and I'm gonna raise my price. We're in the middle of a price increase right now again, and I think I'm gonna use that formula. I think you're right.
Yeah.
If you just
And
take
that's
labor,
just
materials, and double, you should be good.
Yeah, and that's just the minimum. Like, don't feel bad if you're at 70% gross profit, 75, 80 even. That's money is air. It like, another way to look at it is if you raise your prices 20% and you lose 1 or 2 jobs or customers because of that extra 20% from all those other customers who were happy to pay it, you made more money, less time, less work, less headaches. You usually lose the worst customers anyways.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. One of the things you mentioned, we talked about how far out you're booking, like for us, we've been, 2 to 3 months out, and that's way too much. Like, you can't expect people to wait that long. I mean, a lot of people do wait that long, but that's just kind of silly to be like that, because it's hard to tell. You're just lying to customers, new customers, when they call. I like to say we'll be there within 4 weeks. That's what our goal is. I think moving into to 2022, I want to be able to say that we can be there within a month, and I think people can wait a little that long.
And I think when me and Dave were both learning to charge more, and an analogy he told me was about like storage unit places, that if they hit past 80% occupancy, price goes up, because you need time to clean them out and all that. Same thing with like a hotel or apartment complex. That's how they know. And so, like, I think our indicator is, when you when you're getting 2 months out, go up
Right,
10%, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, I agree. Especially when your costs are going up, like materials
Mhm.
are, I
Yeah.
know it's the same down in the States, but for us, like this month, we had a 9% increase at the beginning of the month, and at the end of next week, another
Mhm.
11%. That's 20% in 30 days.
Mhm.
Crazy.
I found it so interesting. I learned it from either installer group or owner group. You know, we've met a lot of our Canadian neighbors through this. Um, and I had always joked or wondered how you guys measured your gutters. And it's interesting to me that it's by the foot, right?
What else would it be by? Like
I mean,
the
you guys are
centimeter, the
you
meter?
guys are metric up
Oh
there.
yeah, but we're
So,
just
you
like
know,
we're like your cousins. Like we have to
yeah,
do what you're doing. Like we sell our gas in liters, not gallons. But
right.
when it comes to measuring, like I'm 5 foot
Mm,
7 1/4. Um, I don't know
okay,
what I am in meters, but my wife, she's from Brazil. I told you she's from Brazil, right? And
right.
she's I think 172 centimeters,
Hmm.
1.72. So
Okay.
that's what she goes
So
by.
in Brazil, they use the centimeters.
Oh, it's all in meters,
Okay.
yeah. I think the rest of the world is Christian.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
only it's only the
It
US
makes
that
more sense.
no, it totally does. It
Yeah.
totally does. But we do still sell everything by the foot here in Canada.
Mm,
Yeah, just like you guys.
yeah.
So, okay, so you got into the business in 2013. You had a lot of growing pains. You shrunk a little bit. You're in a growth mode right now. So, talking about 2022 and going, looking forward to 2023 and 24, you're still running
Mm.
2 locations. Is that right?
We're trying to. We haven't had an install crew at the Mason location for like 6 months. It's only like an hour away, so we're just,
So
selling nice.
when you say that you're running, two locations, does that mean you have a full-fledged office in the other
So
location, or is it just a truck there doing installs?
the original installation warehouse, it's a nice big pole barn. There's no water, there's no bathroom, there's a porta potty in the yard. It's at a landscape supply place. It's a great space, but it wasn't conducive to an office.
Right.
So the main office ended up in Warren in the Detroit area. And we kept Mason going. We have a great reputation there. We have great customers there. But through the pandemic and just, yeah, I had my best guy got hurt real bad.
Oh yeah, on the
And
job.
then, finally we just, lost the only crew there, and we've kept it covered from Warren for a little while now, but I would love to get a crew moving out of there again soon. But in the meantime, we're taking care of it.
So you'll just send a crew up there from your location then
Yeah,
to handle work.
we have Jordan's out in that area today. Hopefully he's on his way home. But yeah, it's an hour,
Yeah, an hour
when
is
you
manageable. When you get more than an hour, it
right.
gets a little difficult, right?
Yeah.
And if you plan a good full day there, right?
Hmm. Yeah. And you charge enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing.
Make
You
it
got to
count.
charge it.
Hmm.
So, what have you found? What made you? Let me just ask you a couple of questions about your Facebook group. So you used to be a member of you were a member and still are a member of Collins Group. You kind of broke off because, you really, to be in your group, you got to be a gutter owner, not just a gutter installer, right?
Yeah, I love Colin's gigantic monster of a group. A lot of great. I still learn amazing things from there all the time. Great installers. I just wanted a safe place for owners to, talk about owner issues without our employees seeing them or a customer sneaking in, or
Yeah.
so it's a more sophisticated group. We keep it tight. We turn a lot of people down who are trying to join it.
So,
But
who would you turn down? Like,
and funny enough, though,
how do you pick those guys out? Like, do you do a little bit of when someone wants to join? I can't remember when I joined your group, but I guess you probably wanted to make sure that I had a website. I was in the business. Is that how you do it?
We ask, we updated it a few months ago, but we ask how many machines you have and what they are.
Yeah.
We ask for your Facebook or website.
Yeah.
When you start the company, and if you'll agree to the rules. I basically, if you don't answer the questions or any, if you don't, or if you, some people say I'm thinking about starting a company, or or they like just started it. And I want, we kind of don't want to just let everyone in, but
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I really prefer gutter systems to be one color, and I was making some jokes about that in Colin's group the other day. Whenever the topic comes up, two-tone gutters, different color downspouts, trying to
What
be
is your
invisible.
opinion on that? I'm interested.
I like it, the gutters and downspouts to be one color. I like the
Absolutely.
contrast.
Absolutely.
So
what I
made
always say?
some
I'm
polite.
gonna try to get this registered. Gutter is the jewelry on the house.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know?
I've said I think we've called it the icing on the cake before.
Yeah.
The last thing finishes it off.
Black gutters on and the black downspouts on a white, or I don't care what color siding you have.
Yeah.
It just, if it's done right, it's just gonna set the house off.
Right. And and if you know me, I like dark bronze. But I made a couple polite, funny comments in that thread, and I got kicked out of Colin's group for a minute. I got right back in.
Colin
out of the. I don't think Colin kicked me out, but I got right back in. But I think all my content disappeared, all my comments over the years.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it's amazing all the people we've gotten to know that we otherwise wouldn't. And you can say a lot about Facebook, but that's one thing that I really appreciate and value is like these relationships and these support groups, that have come from it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's too bad, and I have to say that I have to admit that I'm not a big contributor to any of the groups. I just kind of, I don't know if troll is the right word, but I pay attention to. I'm always checking every day, but there's a few people that are just constantly commenting and making good comments and contributing, and
Right.
I wish I was a little bit more like that. So.
Well, I think some would say you're about to make one of the biggest contributions, with the Gutter-Con.
Yeah.
So don't apologize. It's like something that we all talked about, and every other industry has it.
Yeah.
And we're coming into our own. We're gutters are getting more visible, and it's time. So I'm really.
I appreciate you bringing that up, and I'm glad you're excited. I know there's a lot of guys that are excited, and I guess I don't know how many guys will be watching this, but if you haven't registered yet, please register. This isn't a big money making opportunity for me, I'll tell you that right now, but the people that are involved in this right now and that have been involved with this right from day one are people that are excited about this, just like you said. And I think it's going to be a great event. I hope it's going to be a great event, but we need people to come and, and participate, because it's definitely not all about me. I'm just the one that's putting it together. So I really hope that, some of those people that just haven't pushed the button yet, once they listen to this, maybe they will. So, yeah, we're really excited about it, including
myself.
Including you.
Myself. I haven't made my arrangements yet, but I'm
going to send you a link tonight
to take care of it. Yeah. So like this weekend, next week, I'm going to get it all figured out.
Yeah, and not to
I'm
put
looking
any
forward to.
pressure on you, but anyone who's, got someone, I wouldn't even say a significant other, but I mean, of course, we all know that there's a lot of gutter guys out there that their wives are involved. But if you got like, a really good operations manager, bring them along too. I mean, I think that,
Mhm.
they could really get something out of this too. There's some
Yeah,
great
and
speakers there. So,
I do have a really good operations manager, and his name's Devin.
okay, well, send me his
And
email.
he
I'll
was
send
like,
him a registration form.
yeah,
Does,
he
does
was
he have
the
a company
spark.
credit card?
He does.
Oh, sweet. Send me, I'm going to get his email address.
Yeah. Um, yeah, he was I think, big spark we needed for the turnaround we've had this year.
Yeah. How
Um,
long have you had him then? Tell me that.
it'll be a year this summer.
Where'd he
Um,
come from?
he was doing like insulation and various stuff for another construction company, but
In a management
um,
role?
uh, I mean, he was managing subs and selling things.
Yeah.
I think he's, part of what I think excited him and brought him to us was I think he could tell um, how badly we needed his leadership. I really liked him right away, but he's you know he's really helped inspire and retain and recruit the best people, and brings a positive attitude. Um, we recently started like a employee of the month thing. He was the first one. We have a Golden Hammer traveling trophy now, which I'm excited about. And then so he's going to nominate the next guy.
Oh,
Um,
cool. How many
and
guys you
it
got?
like 15 people,
Oh, really? Wow.
and culture and fun and
Yeah.
just enjoying the people you work with, laughing, like all of that stuff. It's like
Oh, it's huge.
so important. And one of the best people who I've always admired for that is Tina Hart.
Mm,
They have the vest with the patches.
I know.
Um, so it's like really something for us to focus on, just kind of just making it fun,
Yeah.
being happy to be at work.
Been trying to get her on one of these
Yeah.
interviews too. So hopefully now, Tina, if you're watching this, I'm calling you.
Yeah, she'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone better for like really marketing,
Yeah.
leadership, culture, just
Yeah.
really bringing a cohesive team together.
Yeah. So here's, before we wrap things up, here's something I wanted to talk to you about. And I'm glad you brought Tina up because I actually chatted with Tina on the phone. She was looking at bringing on a new CRM, and I was speaking with her about the CRM that we use. We use Service Autopilot, which is
Mm,
it was kind of designed for the landscaping, lawn mowing industry. And I've been using that since 2012 myself. And she was speaking to them, but I think she actually ended up going with Jobber just
mhm.
this past year. And I think when I was speaking with her that I think your name came up. What do you use for a CRM if you do use one?
We do. We use House Call Pro.
Okay.
I love it. I really love their culture. The Facebook group's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, it works great for us. It does a lot. I think that Jobber and House Call Pro are probably pretty comparable.
Hmm.
Um, so I, I I usually recommend that people look at them and pick whatever they think will work.
Yeah.
Um, if anyone is looking for one and you're thinking about House Call Pro, reach out to me. I can answer your questions, and I recommend it. I love it. I think it will help.
How long have you been with them?
Almost 2 years. I wish I wish it'd been 10 years because they've been around a long time, and um, it would have really helped organize us a long time ago.
Yeah, I
So
mean, one of the
it's
big
like,
things with software nowadays, of course, is automations, and that's
mhm,
just huge what you can do with automations nowadays. So
yeah,
that's something we're definitely going to be talking about at GutterCon for sure.
hmm
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time and chatting with me, and I'm gonna send you the registration link for GutterCon this weekend. So make
Awesome.
sure Devin gets a gets one too. So
I will.
and like I said, really appreciate you taking the time. It's great to chat with another gutter guy, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see you at the end of April.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you, Bren.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it.